fridge, memories rushed in, her father's stern voice during breakfast arguments, her mother's tired laughter while cooking dinner, her sister's cries after every childish quarrel. A part of her felt like turning back, but something stronger. Maybe guilt, maybe duty, pulled her forward. Celine was waiting by the door. Elena hadn't seen her sister in 8 years. And yet there she was, wearing a faded hoodie, her hair tied in a bun, face thinner than Elena remembered. Her eyes, once full of mischief, now held a dullness that only time and resentment could bring. "You came," Celine said, flatly. Her voice was neither surprised nor welcoming. "He's still alive," Elena replied, brushing past her and entering the house. Inside, nothing had changed. The same wooden furniture. The same dusty frames on the wall. The same smell of home-cooked food lingering from meals long past. Elena walked into the living room, where their mother, Rosita, sat beside the hospital bed that now occupied half the space. Her hands were clasped in prayer, eyes weary but alert. Carlos Mendoza, once tall and commanding, now looked like a husk. Tubes ran from his nose. His chest rose and fell in slow, effortful rhythm. The machine beside him beeped steadily. Rosita stood and hugged Elena. Her grip was tight, desperate. "Thank you for coming, my child," she whispered. Elena nodded stiffly. Her eyes went to her father. The man who never said he was proud of her. The man who called her too ambitious for leaving Baguio. Celine watched from the corner of the room, arms crossed. "We didn't think you'd come," she said, bitterness slipping through her tone. "I'm not heartless," Elena snapped. "Just absent," Celine replied without missing a beat. The room fell into silence. Later that evening, after hours of quiet tension, Rosita prepared a simple dinner of rice porridge. Elena ate in silence while Celine picked at her bowl. "Does it taste different in Manila?" Celine asked suddenly, eyes focused on her spoon. Elena didn't respond immediately. "Nothing tastes the same after success. And nothing ever changes here," Celine muttered. They both continued eating. Neither dared to look the other in the eye. In the stillness of that broken home, a storm was building, not from the skies, but from the past they both carried. The morning after her arrival, Elena woke up to the sound of roosters crowing and the clatter of pans from the kitchen downstairs. Her room felt smaller than it used to. The bookshelf was still lined with her childhood favorites, mostly legal thrillers and old family magazines. The smell of dust was thick, yet oddly comforting. She stood in front of the mirror. Her once carefree face had sharpened with age and ambition. In this place, she had been a dreamer, in the city, she had become a machine. Downstairs, Celine was already cleaning the living room. Elena walked down, careful not to step on the creaky planks. "You still do everything yourself?" Elena asked. Celine didn't look up. "Someone has to. I could have hired someone." "No need. We're not a hotel." Silence. Rosita entered, breaking the tension. "Coffee, my child?" Elena took the cup gratefully. "Thanks, Mom." As they sat down, Rosita tried to make small talk, about the weather, about the market, about the neighbors who had moved abroad. But the sisters said little. Every glance was weighted, every sentence careful. Later that day, a nurse arrived to check on Carlos. Celine spoke with the nurse like clockwork, asking about his medications, his oxygen levels, the tube feedings. Elena stood back, watching. "I've been handling all this alone," Celine muttered after the nurse left. "You wouldn't know how hard it is." Elena crossed her arms. "You think I don't carry burdens? Yours come with a paycheck. Mine don't." They locked eyes. Elena wanted to say something cruel. But the sight of her father, weak, fading, held her tongue. That night, Elena sat alone on the veranda. The Highland air had a chill that the city never did. She wrapped her coat tighter and stared at the stars above. The city always drowned them out, but here, they were clear and sharp. Celine joined her, 2 mugs in hand. She offered one to Elena. Coffee. A peace offering, maybe. He used to bring us out here after dinner, Celine said. Remember? Elena nodded. To teach us the constellations. Celine laughed dryly. Except he always got them wrong. They both smiled, briefly. Then came the silence again. You left, Celine finally said. And never looked back. I had to, Elena replied. I was suffocating here. And I wasn't? You could have left too. I couldn't. Someone had to stay with them. No one asked you to. They didn't have to. Another silence. Longer this time. Celine stood. Good night, sister. As she walked away, Elena whispered, I missed you. But Celine was already inside. The next morning, Rosita brought out an old album. Dust coated the cover. Do you remember this? She asked. They gathered around the table. Inside were pictures of birthdays, school events, vacations that were few but joyful. One photo caught Elena's eye. Her graduation from elementary. She stood proudly in her medal. Carlos was behind her, unsmiling. Celine, in another photo, held a handmade card. Carlos grinned beside her, hugging her tight. I never noticed this before, Elena murmured. Celine leaned in. He smiled more with me. Elena didn't reply. Rosita called a family meeting in the evening. The doctor says it's time to decide, home care or hospital transfer. I can bring him to the city, Elena said. Better equipment. Specialists. Celine shook her head. No. This is his home. It's not enough here. Look at him. You think throwing money solves everything? I think watching him die slowly when we can help is worse. Rosita intervened. Stop. Please. The sisters fell quiet. Elena stood. I'll cover everything. But I won't fight you for him. Celine's voice cracked. You already did, the moment you left. And in that quiet, Carlos stirred in his bed, coughing weakly. The fight stopped. But the wound stayed open.